Hi, this is Monica
and Lindy,
your favorite everyday herbalist. We're coming to you from Huckleberry Mountain Botanicals School of Herbalism. Lindy's going to get us set up on the prepared homestead, and then we will jump into our beverage for the evening. Thursdays are
the new Friday.
Thursdays are the new Friday, at least for us. And what's cool is that I can give you these recipes on Thursday, and you can get all your ingredients, and you can make them on Friday.
Exactly.
Hi, Sean. So today is, I really enjoy rose. Rose is not only flavorful, but astringent as well, and also good for the heart. It's a nice, calming, and cooling herb.
I didn't know that.
So, we're gonna start out, let's see. Let's start out by, the first part of the instructions I'm gonna give you are about making your rose syrup. And you need to make this in advance, and I did make it in advance. I have my little jar of my rose syrup that I made earlier today, actually, because we didn't have any. We had lavender, we had all kinds of syrups, but we didn't have rose petal. Okay, so when you start out making your rose petal syrup, the first thing you're gonna do is to make a strong infusion, and that means
1 to 1, right?
1 to 1. It's a lot of rose to water, but and I want you to steep it around 15 to 20 minutes. What I'm looking for is this sort of anemic look. It hit all that color, and all the aromatics have drawn out of the rose petals and now into the water, giving it a beautiful hue. It's a gorgeous color. It really is. So after you have that done, you're going to strain it, and you're going to need to really squeeze these herbs. And I'm going to show you what I mean by anemic, because really these don't look like roses anymore.
They're white.
Yeah, they're just
they're not pink or red anymore. They're
kind of, dead inside.
icky. Okay, let's see. Yeah, see, usually they're red, but they're not.
Yeah, so we got all the nice color out. You can see that nice red color. So once you have that, you'll be then putting it into a clean pot and adding your sugar. I simmer for around 5 minutes, but you can simmer it longer if you want to thicken it more. It's totally up to you how thick you want your syrup to be. The other option is, if you want to darken it even more, you can do a second infusion. You can take another half cup of dried rose, go ahead and put that in the water, and you can heat it up slightly and just let it sit. Make sure it's covered. Lots of volatile oils in there, and if you don't cover it, they're all gonna go away. You won't get that good flavor that you're looking for. All right, so you're gonna make your syrup.
And once that's made, it'll look like this.
Yeah, you'll have a beautiful,
delicious
nice syrup. Yes. Now make that in advance a little bit, so you're not trying to mix in hot with a cold beverage. That's gonna just melt everything and not be very tasty. All right, so the next thing we're gonna make here is
our rim sugar stuff.
Our sugar rim. And it's gonna be rose sugar, which, by the way, you can use. I made a rose sugar earlier this year, and we used, what did I use? Muscovado sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a muscovado sugar, and I added the rose petals in there, and we use that in tea. Now, of course, you're gonna get little floaters, but really, that's not a big deal, and they're easy to drink. It was so tasty and delicious.
Yeah, it's rose petal.
Exactly, it's rose petal.
You're basically gonna add the essence of rose to your sugar, which is delicious.
So I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons here.
You know what this reminds me of? The syrup reminds me of, what's that candy from Narnia? Turkish Delight.
Oh, Turkish Delight.
Because they use
rose.
Rose water. What is it called?
Yeah, hydrosol, like a rose hydrosol.
Because I've made Turkish Delight before. It did not turn out. But
well, the flavor turned out great.
The texture
wasn't quite right.
It wasn't gooey and stretchy. It was more like
a gooey jello.
Like Jello. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you just didn't cook it long enough. So I'm gonna run this through the mill. You don't have to. I'm just gonna do it a little bit. And then I'll be adding it. You can also just, use your fingers and
woohoo. Close one.
you know, you just use your fingers and kind of run the rose through the sugar.
But it adds a pretty color to
It's
the sugar
gorgeous.
as well. It basically, even though it's not wet or anything, it turns the sugar pink.
Yes, it turns it pink.
And it adds that nice, oh, you know what I haven't made in a long time?
What?
Which I'm only craving these because I'm on no sugar right now, is my rose petal shortbread.
Oh, yeah.
Those were really popular with our bed and breakfast. I would make shortbread with, like, I made lavender, I made rose with a rose. I think it was a lemon rose.
Yeah, it was.
That I made.
It was, yeah.
It was so good. Hi, Heidi.
Hi, Heidi. And also, one time you made a lemon balm. That wasn't as good.
The lemon balm, because it's not as strong. You need that,
Yeah.
like, floral. Like, when I did lavender, you have to be very careful when baking with lavender.
Yes,
But
because it can get.
I did lavender,
quickly.
lemon, and rose. Was it just rose? I think it was rose.
I think
lemon.
so. Yeah, it was a rose citrus.
Yeah, or orange. No, yes,
Orange
rose,
peel.
orange, rose and orange, and lavender and lemon shortbread cookies.
Yes.
And they were so
So good.
good. They were like, I was beginning to get famous for them. Every time we'd have people over, we'd go over to people's houses, I'd bring them, and
Yes, famous.
everybody started asking,
She's known all over the world. World famous.
hey, well, those people now live all over the world.
Okay,
so
fine.
technically,
You're world
you
famous.
want to get technical.
Okay. So I'm just going to show you because I'm just playing with this here. Oh, you can't even see it. Yeah, so it made it, and it smells so good in here. It
Why
has
isn't
this
it
nice
focusing?
rose smell.
Yeah, you can't see it, but it's like pink.
Yeah, it's got a pink hue, and it's got all this nice rose in it. That's going to be decorating and adding some flavor to the rim of our glass, which I'm super excited about. I love sugared rims. I really do. Unless it's like a margarita, and then fine, give it some salt. All right, so Lindy's going to roll the lemon out. This drink that we're doing requires juice of 1 lemon, 2.5 ounces of vodka, and I'm going to be trying out my new shaker. This better work tonight, I tell you what, because the other night was a disaster. If you missed it, you should go watch it on YouTube. I was shaky. I couldn't get the lid off. I finally got the lid off, and everything flew everywhere, and then I poured it in, and stuff went everywhere. Oh, my goodness. It was crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I should stand back. If you haven't watched our lives before, Lindy tends to
My struggle with lemon.
fling lemon juice everywhere. Hashtag, the struggle is real. I'm going to take this leftover lemon, and I'm just going to run my rim so that it's got some moisture there.
Ah!
Did you get it dry?
No.
I think we're going to start calling that a Lindy.
Mm.
She pulled a Lindy.
No.
Okay, see, we've got our nice, I love it. I'm probably putting too much sugar, but I don't care.
Put more.
All right, so I've got my sugared rim, and that's ready for my beverage. All right, I already measured out my vodka, so I'm gonna pour my vodka in here. Just making sure. Yep, we're at 2.5 ounces. All right, so this is kind of weird. We have to do 3/4 of an ounce of syrup, and I don't think it's gonna be a huge deal if I go slightly over.
Oh, that's pretty. It's making like a layer.
It's gorgeous. And it's gonna be such a pretty color. Then we're gonna add the juice of the lemon, which is actually gonna react with it and almost create a purple hue, I think.
Well, it's cool
It's gonna
because
be
you have the
interesting.
water, then the lemon juice, and then the syrup.
Yeah. So then here we're gonna put some ice in so we can get it nice and cold. And then we're gonna put the lid on and we're gonna pray it doesn't go anywhere. I practiced last night. I shook with some water just to test to make sure that it wasn't gonna fling all over
So
the
far,
place.
so good. It's better than the last one.
Yeah, but what I decided was I had to loosen this a little bit in order to get the air pressure out of the lid to allow the liquid to go down. This is what practicing in advance does for you people. Because if I was doing this for the very first time, it would be a disaster right now.
Was it a disaster last night?
Well, with the water, it kind of was. So I'm going to take my lid off. Oh, yes, see, it went back in. Perfection. All right, and we're gonna pour this drink in here.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
It's gorgeous. And I did get a little bit of the sugar, you know, rose sugar down in there, and so there's some pieces. Not a big deal though. Okay, I'm gonna taste it.
It's so pretty. Like if
and it's
Barbie
really good.
were an alcoholic, it would be on this.
If she was an alcoholic,
or if she just really, really liked alcohol,
she'd have to be an alcoholic
it would
to drink
be
this. This is really, really good, you guys. My go-to like lemon drop martini is the basil lemon drop, but I can see this being a very, very close second.
Have you ever seen a rose lemon drop martini in a restaurant?
I haven't. Have you guys seen a rose lemon drop martini in a restaurant? I haven't seen one as an offering, but an offering. But maybe it should be. It should be on a menu somewhere. Definitely should be.
Yeah.
All right, so that is it for tonight. We have the rose sugar, which you should make, even if you're only going to be sweetening tea or anything like that. It is such a nice addition to that. And then how to make your rose syrup. And then this simple beverage that you can enjoy tomorrow if you go get the ingredients that you need. One reminder about rose petals. You can use pretty much any rose petals out there. My one warning would be make sure that they are not being sprayed. Make sure they're not in places where there's going to be a lot of you know, herbicides, insecticides, things like that. They should be clean and preferably organic. But you know, if you've got some growing in your garden and you know that you haven't sprayed any pesticides or insecticides, feel free to grab them and use them. You don't have to purchase them. They don't have to be a specific kind. The red is nice, and drying them will help you get more flavor actually out of this in this infusion rather than using fresh. You have to use a lot of fresh petals. Once they're dried, it's much easier, and they have a much stronger flavor when they pull it out in the infusion. So any type, dry them, and then you can make this syrup really, really simply. Okay, so I guess that is it, and you guys have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday. Until then, health and joy.
Bye.